I have a few messages I wanted to share about the COVID vaccine for 5 to 11-year-olds. The first one is that it's very safe. It's a reduced dose vaccine, and the reduced dose has been shown to have a very good immune response in terms of triggering immunity for the children who receive the vaccine. And it's also been extremely unlikely to cause any problems. It's a very safe vaccine. And children should get the vaccine who are between 5 and 11, because even though it's unlikely they'll get very sick from COVID, they could. And it's rare, but it happens, and there have been hospitalizations and deaths due to COVID in Canada. There have been children afflicted by this horrible inflammatory multi-system illness, which almost always results in them being admitted to an intensive care unit. There's also been the children who develop the long-term sequelae of COVID, where they have asthma and other symptoms that just drag out. And probably the most common thing that's an advantage of getting the COVID vaccine for this age group is they can come home and hug their grandparents and see them at the Christmas dinner, and it greatly reduces the likelihood that they will bring COVID home and spread it around to elderly, vulnerable members of the family, and it will keep the whole family safer. Just quickly to talk about, I guess, the 800-pound gorilla that everybody wants to bring up, which are these so-called long-term concerns of a vaccine for a child. That really is not something that is a concern, in my opinion. Vaccine side effects and adverse events tend to be quite immediate and quite soon after a vaccine is administered. They tend to be minor, things like pain at the vaccination site, feeling a bit achy for a day or two, a low-grade fever. The symptoms or side effects tend to be very mild, and they tend to be immediate. There's actually never been vaccines that have resulted in any kind of long-term side effects. So I think people are really worried about something that doesn't exist and is not a real risk, and there haven't been any so-called long-term side effects of vaccinations. So it's a safe vaccine, it's an effective vaccine. Get your kids their shot and let them hug their grandparents without worrying.